Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Omaj Rod, if you don't know already. Today we're going to start an e-commerce, I'm going to show you guys how to start an e-commerce business in 2025, step-by-step guide that I've made. I decided to go with a presentation to make it a bit easier for me since this is my first video. So please drop a like because it's my first video on YouTube and I would like to do a lot more, and I will definitely enjoy your support. So a little background about myself. I've been in the e-commerce for the past 5 years. I've opened brick and mortar stores, online website. I've done multiple different business ventures, but when it comes to e-commerce, you cannot go wrong. It's uh, one of the best ways to make money in 2025. And yeah, and that's why I want to share my experience, and also if I can guide one of you guys to open your own ecom business, that would be one of my goals. So I hope you guys will join me into this journey, and let's make some money. All right, so I'm going to go through this presentation, so please bear with me. Like I said, it's my first YouTube video, so I'm really trying to get this together. All right. All right. So I'm ready right here. All right. So choose a profitable niche. Solving a specific problem. That's one of the things that, in my business journey with ecom, that was the key to success. Finding a specific problem within that niche. For example, I'm going to give you guys a little story about my journey and how things came about. So, I am a candle addict, you could say, or fan. I would spend $100 a week on candles. Okay, that's my thing. But at some point, I was like, this is way too much. I gotta find a different way to satisfy my needs with candles, but at the same time, saving those money, saving the money, making sure my pockets aren't hurting, because I was spending a lot of money on candles. So, I started doing my research about candles, and I learned that you can make your own candles, and then that transitioned into seeing other people wanting to start up their own candle business, and from there I started to find a problem within that industry, and in the in the industry of candle making and soap making, and all these, like, I would say, self-care or uh, cosmetic industry. And I went by discussing more with the people in those groups and trying to understand what's the problem that they're going through, and just reading through their comments and their posts on this Facebook group. And that really opened my eye to the problem that they're facing and how I can solve it. So all this to say, like, when you find your niche, really try and get into these groups, and or into, if it's any platform where they discuss and they share info regarding that specific niche. So what's frustrated people in certain areas? That's one thing that, again, I did in the beginning stages of my journey. I would go into my competitors' Google reviews and read the reviews and see what's lacking and where people are having the most complaints. Because if they have a weak spot, that's perfect for you to come in and make sure that you make sure that your competitor's weakness is your strength, right? So that's definitely important when you're getting into the market. What do they wish was easier and faster, more comfortable? Well, when it comes to that point, it's going through the reviews and learning about your competitor, weakness, right? For example, there's an example right there. Standing desk solves a pain for remote workers with back pain, and that's true. I used to work at an office, and those like standing desk, but they're more smaller. You would put it on your desk, and it would make your desk a little bit higher. That's a amazing product, and that solves a lot of problem. People working uh, from home or at the office that don't have a standing desk, there's that specific product that does solve that issue. So yeah, let's see here. Again, bear with me. First YouTube video. All right, so target passion or hobby markets. So me personally, I tend to look into not necessarily like passion or hobbies. I'm more into necessity, like what do people need, and they need this to go about their day, or they need this on a daily, or they need it like every day. Like for example, you brush your teeth every day. Like toothpaste is something that you will need forever. So that's like a product that is like a great product. Or for example, diapers, right? I mean, you're always gonna need some diapers, and that's another product that's just I go more for those type of things and less of like passion and hobby. But those are great examples as well. Like see, like fitness, yoga gear, and there's pets, dog accessories. Those are great. Beauty, skincare, for more specific skincare types that I'm definitely into. So get some examples there. Again, this presentation is strictly for beginners. We're just talking. We're just sharing some ideas here, but I will get more into details about e-com as a whole, and how to really scale an e-commerce website. In my later videos that I will release. So definitely, passion and hobbies. People spend more on what they love and not just on what they need, right? Like the example I gave you, the toothpaste, diapers. They spend money on that. It's what they need. They need that to, they just need it. And then there's the, the fitness, the yoga, pet, dog accessories. Like candles will fall into that passion. I had a big passion for candles. It would fall into that category, which is not. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. There's a lot of candle companies that make a ton of money, and it's great. Test before you commit. I can't agree more. Like, I mean, I'm going to share my personal experience on how I made this happen, and it's always worked. Let's say you find a product, and it kind of works because you see other people selling it, so it works, right? But you just want to make sure it kind of works for you. So what I would do and what I did, it would be like posting the product like it's ready to be sold, like making sure like to get some type of people coming to you and asking if it's available. You can do this on like Facebook Market. I think that's a great way to start testing a product. Or I would personally recommend Facebook Market because it doesn't cost anything to post there. But having a whole website and testing on a whole website is different. But I highly recommend Facebook Market. It's free, and it's a great way to test a product. Or again, if other people are selling it, then the chances of it working is, you know. But again, if you want to make it more, if I guess if you don't want to try on Facebook, or if Facebook's not working, you could create content and posting on TikTok, or running ads. It's gonna cost you a few bucks, but it's always worth the try. But my personal experience on Facebook is free. It's a great way to test the product. And again, this is the best formula, right? This formula here is just it's as simple. You know, audience, you find your audience, you find a problem, and then you provide the product, and then there you go. Like, you have what you need to then start working on your ecom business, and make and perfecting it to greatness. You know, you have everything that you need to start brainstorming, right? Start brainstorming, finding your audience, and finding a problem, then creating that product or finding that product, and then from there you would have that foundation to start building your ecom business. I'm not gonna lie, this is a very short presentation. Again, like I said, it's just my first YouTube video. I just wanted to get something out there. But I will be showing you guys more in depth, like ecom and how to build a website, where to go to do some research. You know, I've already said some good things in this video, but if you have any questions, please leave a comment. If you want to tag along in this journey, please subscribe. And yeah, thank you. Bye.